Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kay and I hope y'all are doing okay. So yeah guys, it's been a minute. I haven't posted in a minute, even though in my last video I said I was going to be more consistent, and that was like, what, 3 weeks ago? So yeah, I said I was going to be consistent, then I ghosted. But anyway, that doesn't matter, I'm back now. Okay, so in today's video, I'll be talking about the hypersexualization of black girls and why black girls are seen as less innocent than their white peers. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Firstly, sexualization is to make something sexual in character or quality, or to become aware of sexuality, especially in relation to men and women. Now, sexualization is linked to sexual objectification, and this is the Wikipedia definition of sexualization. So, before slavery in America and African colonization took place, European travelers came to Africa and they were shook. They were shocked by how little Africans dressed, especially African women. Mind you, the way they dressed was very appropriate for the hot African climate. Like, there was literally nothing wrong with how they dressed. It was hot. It was hot as hell. But anyway, they were also shocked at how many African tribes practice polygamy, as well as how they danced, their traditional African dances. So some of these dirty-minded Europeans viewed these dances as sexual. So during American slavery, the Europeans started painting this narrative that black women were very promiscuous and had a high appetite for sex, and this was used to justify the sexual abuse of slave women. So enslaved black women and girls were sexually assaulted and frequently impregnated to increase the number of slaves on plantations. So they were basically being bred like livestock. And during auctions, they were put on display naked or half naked, and this was a contrast to white women who were fully dressed, and this pushed the narrative that white women and girls were more modest and pure and innocent as opposed to black women and black girls. Whew, child, it's too much. So this is where the black girl Jezebel stereotype stems from. So black women have always been portrayed and grouped into these 3 black female stereotypes, which are the mommy, who were typically household slaves and nannies in America. Here in South Africa, I would like to think of them as being like the domestic workers and the aunties, during apartheid. So they were idealized as the strong, dominant, average-looking or unattractive, asexual domestic worker who is very dedicated to the white family, the madam and the umisis and the bas. And they had a maternal compassion and understanding. So they had this motherly relationship with the white kids they worked for. So yeah, and like the second one is the sapphire, also known as the angry black woman. I'm sure many of you guys have heard of it. So the angry black women were characterized as being too naggy and domineering, especially towards men. They were seen as strong, aggressive, and masculine. So they are overbearing, so much so to the point of driving their own children and partners away. And lastly, we have the Jezebel, the promiscuous black woman. I'm just going to insert a clip here of sis explaining it more. So I found her YouTube channel and it's at Amandamaryanna, I think. I hope I'm saying it right. Yeah, Amandamaryanna. So yeah, I'll link her video in the description down below. So this is basically her explaining the whole Jezebel stereotype.
The Jezebel, the black woman with the voracious sexual appetite that justified her exploitation in the antebellum era and beyond. This stereotype portrays black women as innately promiscuous and even predatory. This belief is why young black girls tend to be hypersexualized at a young age, and the persistence of it makes black women more vulnerable to sexual assault but less likely to be believed when they are violated.
Now today I'll be exploring why the Jezebel stereotype was so harmful to black women and girls and how it's still affecting them today, but I'll mostly be focusing on the effect it has on young black girls. So, studies show that young black girls are seen as less innocent as opposed to their white peers. So, black girls from the ages of 5 to 14 are seen as more sexually mature and know more about adult topics than white girls of the same age group. When adults compare white girls and black girls, they viewed black girls as needing less nurturing, less support, and less comfort. And like, isn't that just heartbreaking? Like, I remember once I went shopping with a non-relative aunt. She was older, so like I called her an aunt. And she was looking for toys for her daughter. So we were in the toy store, and I was suggesting a few toys to her. At some point, I suggested a baby doll, and she opposed to it like so quickly. She was like, "There is no way I'm gonna get my child that." So I was curious, and I asked her why. Like, why wouldn't you want to get your child a baby doll? Isn't that normal? And like, her reason was that she didn't want her child to get pregnant at a young age. And I was shocked. I was genuinely shook. Like, how does a black child go from having a black doll to being a child teen parent?
B, I did not see her on the sheet. If 2 plus 2 is 4, right? And 5 plus 5 is 10, okay. What the fuck is this?
Like, a white child can play with a baby doll and it's seen as cute and just a child playing, but a black child is viewed as a future teen mom. Now, once again, that's very heartbreaking. So yeah, recently I also saw a post on Instagram by Black Femme Soul, Black Femme Soul, on the hypersexualization of black girls, and she included pictures of a post made by these grown men. And like, one picture that I saw in particular I also found on my own. So it's a picture of this grown man who's asking people who between these 3 kids, I think the kids were Northwest, Blue Ivy, and Royalty, whatever Chris Brown's name is. Yeah, so it's those 3 kids, and he was asking who would grow up to be a thought. Now, if you don't know, thought stands for that hole over there, or simply put, it just means a hole. So why a grown ass man is asking about, not even asking, even thinking about such things, and is posting about it in the internet, and people are actually commenting on it, and they made like such disgusting comments on it. And the fact that you get people like this who concern themselves with what other people's kids are wearing is frightening. Like, how is that any of your business? First of all, like, it's the lack of life for me. It's the lack of having better things to do with your lives for me, love. Like, this is where predatory behavior and victim blaming stems from, where you get comments like, what was she wearing? She shouldn't have been wearing that. She's fast. Like, uyapapa lumtana. We have to stop these dangerous customs and nip them in the bud. Like, you'll find that me, for example, not only me, I know many other black girls who go through the same thing. So like me, I'm at home, I'm chilling, it's very hot, so I'm wearing my shorts, and a tank top. Then all of a sudden my mom or dad will tell me, hey, go get dressed, your uncle is coming. Then I would look down at myself in confusion. But I am dressed, I'll reply. And be like, no, you're not dressed. Go get dressed properly and cover yourself more. I am a young girl. Actually, I am a child being told to dress properly because my uncle is coming. First of all, if you can't trust your uncles, like uncles around your kids, maybe it isn't what your kids are wearing that's the problem. Maybe it's the ankles that are the problem. Like, I'm just saying, maybe, just maybe, that ankle shouldn't be around kids, period. So, like, why do black families like to protect predators and shame the victims? Like, black girls are expected to know better and to protect themselves from a young age. They can't dress grown up, they can't dress nice, but they're expected to act more mature and not make mistakes from a young age. Make that make sense? Like, sometimes it's not even the clothes black girls wear, it's their bodies. I've personally noticed that black girls' bodies develop quicker than other girls. Like, I feel like they develop more faster, like, breasts, hips, and like thighs and, butts and stuff like that. I feel like black girls, they develop at a quicker rate than other races. That's how I feel. So I feel like as a result, their ages get confused more. But that still is an excuse for grown men to prey on them. Like, an 8-year-old shouldn't know what it feels like to get catcalled by a random guy at the street. They just shouldn't. It's just wrong. Like, they shouldn't experience that stuff. It's just wrong. Like, no female should experience that, period. But like a young girl, imagine what that does to them. How that makes them feel. And like, also, sometimes it's not just creepy old men that prey on girls. It's also these young boys emulating creepy and predatory behavior. Like, these boys also need to be called out immediately and be held accountable for that behavior. Personally, I feel that the topic of sexual assault and abuse should be like taught in schools from a young age to prevent or at least limit the number of potential predators in these young boys, maybe even girls. Like, teach children about consent and respect. Maybe that will make a difference. Also, we as a community should come together and start protecting young black girls and letting them enjoy their childhood. Why should they have to grow up fast because of a sick society they were born into? Black girls deserve more protection, more compassion, more respect, and most importantly, they deserve more love. And also, please, I'd like to ask that, guys, please call out these predators. No matter who they are, call them out. Whether they're your friend, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your father, your grandfather, call them out. Like, what's the use of protecting them? What do you gain? These people are hurting young women. They're hurting your kids. They're hurting your sisters. They're hurting your friends. So why are you protecting them? Like, that's all I can ask. Like, nip it in the bud. As soon as you notice that this person is acting funny, this person has been looking at my child funny, this person has been looking at my cousin funny, you cut them off immediately. It shouldn't be a thing where it's like, oh, I saw your uncle looking at you funny the other day, please wear this and this and this. Like I said in the beginning, if the uncle is looking at the child funny, they shouldn't be around kids, period. So yeah, guys, that's all for me today. Let me know your thoughts, comment them down below, and yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. And if you like this video and like me and would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And yeah, that's all from me today. Have a great one.